I volunteered on a farm to help feed the hogs, which sounded like a peaceful, wholesome experience. Except no one told me these hogs think my fingers, legs, and everything else are snacks. So today we're going to see if I can survive feeding them without losing a piece of my body. At the start of each shift, I would have to grab some empty pails and walk through the barn, on the way stopping along to say hello to the draft horses. These ones are pretty damn big and tall because they have escaped ones. Taking the empty pails, I take them up to the attic where all of the food and hay is stored for the rest of the animals. There is definitely no lighting in this attic or in the barn at all, so that if it is getting close to sunset, you want to hurry up and get out of there because you're going to be working in the dark. It had gotten to be quite a routine for me to scoop up 3 scoops into each bucket before I would have to take them down and add them to the milk. After scooping, you had to make sure that the containers were sealed shut to keep out all the mice and other rodents because you didn't want the food getting ruined. I was lucky enough at the very beginning of my volunteer service to have a partner in crime. I think so, right?
Oh, I was like, come on, November.
That's why I have the GoPro. Yeah, for their last days, right? They have like 7 days left to give them some justice. Now carrying the buckets of grain all the way down the stairs, not that it was far, but that back down through the barn, back past the horses and the cows, had to head towards the front door again where the buckets, the pails of milk were still sitting there, so that I could add the milk to the grain. If you've ever seen a real cow's milk straight from the cow, you know that it is very thick, very creamy. It's not quite white, it's more of an off-white cream color. Very thick, very heavy. So I would take the milk and equally share it to all the different buckets, and then I had to stir it to make sure it was in a good mixture, using their trusty pick that they always had on the side hanging. Needless to say, this was a very messy job, and of course I wore my worst clothes ever. So making sure it was fully mixed, then it was time to head back to the hogs, carrying all 3 pails because I didn't want to be walking back and forth several times. They weren't too heavy, but pretty heavy, but be sure I made sure they were not going to spill on me. So back to the hogs I go, and the walk wasn't too far, but it was far enough. And to be honest, there were some onlookers that would often come and watch as I fed the hogs. There was one particular person that was there every Monday when I was there to watch me feed. I don't know if that's creepy or funny or fun or what, but needless to say, I was safe. I never got injured or anything, so I'm not complaining. It was just a little creeped out. So yeah, I guess this walk was a little bit further than what I remember because the walk just goes on and on, and the hogs were all the way in the back pen here. Probably so that they wouldn't stink up the whole place because they were a little bit stinky. So, and also they were very noisy, especially as they got older and bigger. Oh shit! Hello guys. Hello. Hello. You gotta move. Please. Hi. I am not going to that one. Oh, fuck. Yeah, don't mind my GoPro that kept falling down on my head. I didn't quite want to keep touching it because my hands were quite dirty. So you have a nice view of my nose and my feet and my hands. Next, I would have to go inside the pen and turn on the water to make sure they had enough water to last them through the night. Excuse me? This is a joke. Oh. So yeah, sometimes the hose was actually missing, lost, or tucked somewhere inside that barrel that I'm reaching for. So I would have to spend several minutes just even trying to find the end of the hose so I could make sure it was going into the right place. Where's your fucking hose? Where is the hose? Oh my god. It's enough! I have no more food! Leave me alone! Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Alright. Guess I never thought about dousing those hogs, huh? Alright, stop. I'm getting you water. Hey, but we're still not done because I only fed 2 pails of food, 1 more pail to go. I was giving them time to eat and also making sure that everything was going well with the water that was running. I still had to get back in that pen. All right, I got more. Turn off the water. Oh, forget about it. Forget about it. Oh. No, I have no more. So I needed to get back in the pen so that I could turn the water off, but at this point the hogs had finished their food. So now they were looking for more, and for one thing they found my foot, which was on the fence. So now I'm trying to go to the other side of the pen where hopefully I can get in without them coming, but as you see they are running towards me. At this point I know that I gotta get a stick or something to kind of fend off for myself because this was just getting a little bit too crazy. I have no more. And just so you know, no hogs were harmed during this, but I did need it so that I could get in, turn off that water, fend for myself, and get out, and then that was the end of that. Sorry, out of here, move, 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 move. Move! Go that way. Go that way. Alright, no. Oh my god. Oh, you don't. Whoa. Needless to say, I was glad that I was done, and I only did that for 1 year, so be sure to stay tuned for more fun, adventure, and wildlife with Green Dolphin Project Global. Until then, talk to you soon.